So Hartford is a larger city, they're a capital city, so they have similar issues to what you would expect in any metropolitan city. Theft is an issue, vandalism is an issue. Certainly all sorts of violent crime are problems that we would like to help combat through the use of technology.
We had spotty cameras around the city before, fragmented systems that didn't communicate with each other, that required us to go out on scene and retrieve anything if we could do that. We didn't have the training that, necessary to implement those type of programs either. So what we had was, I think, a lot of equipment that we really didn't use to even to half of its potential.
So we started work with the City of Hartford in 2013 when we were commissioned to deploy cameras and access control in the new police facility downtown. So the initial needs of that project were to secure that particular building, but also in the back of our minds was that there was the potential that the system would need to be deployed at other police facilities, at other city buildings, and could eventually grow to include street cameras and other even unforeseen use cases.
We anticipated building a large number of cameras around the city in a 4-phase program. So we've kind of sketched out phase 1 and deployed that already, sketched out 2 and 3, and those will be deployed very soon, and then phase 4 will tie everything together. I have a downtown district that gets very busy on certain days and certain evenings especially. We have certain assets downtown that we like to protect and keep an eye on. We have banks downtown. We have places people congregate. We have parks, public parks, where we have large festivals and events. And this isn't just to overwatch and watch what people are doing. This is to protect people. This is to find the missing kid that disappears from a large event at a park. This is to find the silver alert that walks away from a nursing home, somewhere like that. So we have other ideas besides enforcement. This is to protect and serve, so to speak.
So roughly today there are about 500 access cameras throughout the city, ranging from indoor dome cameras to outdoor 360 camera PTZ combos. Presently, all of those access cameras throughout the city are stood up on a Milestone corporate system. With Access as a very strong Milestone partner, we found that all of the camera features that we need are supported. We found that installing cameras and setting them up on the VMS is very, very simple and very, very time-saving. So as an integrator, that's huge. To be able to deploy a camera, sometimes in hard-to-access areas, whether it be at a street pole or a remote building, knowing that that camera is going to work with the VMS just by virtue of the testing that goes into it by both companies ahead of time is huge.
I really like them in low light. I think they're fantastic for what we use them for, and we do a lot of nighttime stuff here in the police department. We're open 24/7.
Milestone was an easy pick because there is no limitation in how much you can grow a corporate system. Knowing that the city had previously invested in other technologies that were somewhat limiting in terms of how they could scale out and build out to multiple buildings, that was a principal concern when we chose Milestone Corporate.
Well, I think ease of use is very nice. The learning curve is really quick on Milestone, the VMS. I love the interfaces that have been developed by our integrators here. We're able to access what we need to access, specific locations, pretty quickly. The built-in analytics backends are right there on the user interface. Makes it nice. I don't have to drag stuff out and open stuff up. I open it all up in Milestone, and I utilize it that way. It's been a flawless VMS as far as I've seen compared to other VMSs we've seen or used in the past. Very responsive, very fluid. It's just really nice when it comes to that stuff. It really makes a difference when it comes to stuff for presentation, for court presentation, when you have a system that is that reliable and that fluid that you don't have to worry about glitches or things of that nature.
We've added BriefCam integration to the system within the past year. It's been wildly successful thus far in video usability, capturing events that we otherwise would not have captured. The ability to search by color, by direction of travel, by speed, hugely helpful in identifying target vehicles and people. Integrating BriefCam to Milestone was very easy. Allows users to access the BriefCam module from within Smart Client, which is great because it means all of our users don't have to log into multiple programs. It minimizes the system resource draw on their computers, and it really lets them accomplish many things from one pane of glass, which is a big time saver.
I think that's been our biggest game changer as an addition to this system we have built around. And we built up cameras, we built up a VMS, and BriefCam has become kind of the next generation, the next level. It took us to the top, in my opinion. We can do things with BriefCam we couldn't do before. I have examples of we grab large volumes of data now in video feeds from homicides, from shootings, from car accidents, from missing people, and we can examine that video in a very short, quick period of time and broadcast that out. We broadcast information that was pertinent to arrests, pertinent to location, pertinent to finding these people immediately. I mean, the success stories have become so many, I've almost lost track, which is a good thing. That's why I'm very excited about that product.
It's great as an integrator to work with a customer like the City of Hartford and the Hartford Police Department as a whole, because they really buy into the concept of a single open platform solution, which allows us to use a lot of tools in our belt, whether it be video analytics, video forensics, an integration with access control, integration with third-party applications such as ShotSpotter, that they give us the wherewithal as an integrator to make recommendations and seriously consider them is very helpful.
No, I think it's, a fantastic system, very easy to use. I come from no technical background at all. I was a police officer. This is where I learned everything on the job training, and we've become pretty proficient up here just with our daily use through the back-end support from our vendors, from Milestone, from Access, from BriefCam. Been fantastic. And every time the latest or greatest comes out, we get to view it and we get to play with it, and I think we come up with ideas on how to use it. I think that's been the biggest benefit to us. So what I'm doing in this next phase right now, we're beefing up our mobile servers, because our game plan is to push every one of these down to a car. I want to start with our supervisors' cars, so they can actually have a visual of a scene prior to arriving there. They can know what they're getting themselves into. They can deploy based on what they view. They can do investigative backhaul. They can look things up if they need to. If they need to get something out quickly, they can do their own investigation from a vehicle. So that's actually a push we're making right now, pretty heavy, because I'd like to arm everybody in the street with everything you see up here. I mean, it's just the efficiency alone. When we first deployed some of these cameras, within 3 days, we did a coordinated narcotics sweep, street-level drug dealings, made 64 arrests in 3 days, just by watching MOs, seeing how people gathering intelligence for a day or two, utilizing the cameras. The detectives that were going to be involved in the takedowns watched that. They figured out where things were being hidden, where people are, what their hours of operation were, what vehicles they were, where they were stashing things. So when we go out on a sweep like that, it's real easy, and it makes a big impact on a community that is just sick and tired of watching it from their windows. It doesn't replace the cop on the street. I need those guys. You need people on the ground. You need boots on the ground. But what it does is I arm them with intelligence immediately that makes them that much more effective. Intelligence we would either not have found or found too late in the past. We are now getting it to them in real time. We've monitored what they did in Detroit with Project Greenlight, and we've kind of decided how we're going to deploy using Access Milestone to partner with our private businesses, probably starting like they did in Detroit with gas stations. I think that would expand our capabilities, provide the protection and the assurity to these business owners that they expect it, and they deserve it in the city. We're trying to promote our local businesses, and we're trying to give them the best coverage we can and the best safety we can.
Overall, it's been a very, very successful project for all involved. Could not have done it without the hard work of Access and Milestone working together to make sure that their products are in lockstep in terms of development. As an integrator, having the ability to just sort of turn things on and be able to focus on the harder aspects of the integration, which is, of course, the calibration and configuration aspects of it. To not be able to focus on avoidable problems like compatibility is a big time saver and a big win for the city. It helps keep costs down. It helps us move on from objective to objective very quickly.